Welcome back. Two words have shaped how many people understand a woman's role in marriage. Helper, or in older language, helpmeet. From those words, an entire theology was formed. Woman as assistant, woman as supporter, the one who exists to help the man fulfill his purpose. But what if those words have been misunderstood? What if the original Hebrew says something far stronger, and getting it wrong has shaped how women have been treated for generations? Go back to Genesis chapter 2 verse 8, which says, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him." That phrase comes from two Hebrew words, Ezer and Kenegdo. Most people hear helper and think subordinate, an assistant, someone less important, but that is not what Ezer means. The word Ezer appears 21 times in the Old Testament. Only twice does it refer to the woman in Genesis. Most of the time it refers to God. Psalm chapter 121 verse 2 says, "My help comes from the Lord." Psalm chapter 46 verse 1 says, "God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble." Hosea chapter 13 verse 9 says, "God is called Israel's helper." Same word, Ezer. So the word used to describe the woman is the same word used to describe God when he rescues, sustains, and strengthens his people. That is not the language of an assistant. It is the language of strength, of necessity, of someone you cannot do without. Now look at the second word, Kenegdo. It means equal to face with. It carries the idea of someone who stands opposite you, not beneath you, not above you, but alongside you. A counterpart. Put the two together, Ezer Kenegdo, a strong, indispensable ally, standing face to face as an equal. That is the original description. So how did this become helper in the weaker sense? Part of it traces back to early translations, including the Latin Vulgate and later the 1611 King James Bible. Those translations were shaped within cultures that already assumed male dominance. Over time, interpretation followed assumption. Helper became assistant, assistant became subordinate, and a word used for God was reduced to a supporting role. That is not just translation, that is interpretation shaped by culture. The creation story itself confirms this. The woman is not an afterthought. She is created because nothing else in all creation was Kenegdo, equal and corresponding to the man. Not the animals, not anything else. The man alone was not complete. The woman is presented as the answer to that lack, that is not subordination, that is indispensability. Then look at Proverbs 31. This woman manages a household, runs business, makes financial decisions, cares for others, and earns the full trust of her husband. She is active, capable, influential. She is not portrayed as secondary, she is portrayed as strong. This does not mean men and women are identical or that there is no structure in marriage, but difference does not mean inferiority. A face-to-face partnership can have different roles without unequal worth, and there is a clear difference between partnership and a system that removes voice, agency, and strength. The woman in Genesis was not created to be an assistant. She was created to be an Ezer, the same word used for God, strong, necessary, irreplaceable. And if we are going to take scripture seriously, then we have to read those words honestly. If this challenged how you've understood this passage, take a moment and sit with it. And if you want more conversations like this, you're welcome to stay.